And good evening and welcome to another edition of Sports Corner live from Studio 808 here in Allentown. And I welcome you, and it's great to be here tonight. We have I am supposed to have a special guest on tonight, but he hasn't come on yet. Jerry DePaula from the Trib Live. He's supposed to come on tonight, and we're going to talk Pitt athletics. But so far, I'm waiting for him. Looks like he's running a little bit late. But in the meantime, let's talk about the big news of the day. In case you haven't heard, or maybe you're hiding under a rock, Green Bay Packers today signed Aaron Rodgers to a 4-year, $200 million contract. And on top of that, Russell Wilson got dealt to the Denver Broncos in a huge trade that's going to bring Seattle some first-round draft picks, second-round, and fifth-round picks. Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and a defensive lineman were named also in the trade. Also, another mock draft today pointed to this, that Kenny Pickett will be, the Steelers are supposedly now, according to Zerlin, the guy who's on NFL Network, he did a mock draft, and he's now putting the Steelers to trade up to get Kenny Pickett because according to his mock draft, Malik Willis is going to be gone before Pickett. So we're going to find out how that works out. And there's several mock drafts that have the Steelers taking Malik Willis and then Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. The same there's 4 mock drafts that say the Steelers are going to take Malik Willis. One mock draft has the Steelers trading up the number 17 with the Chargers to get Malik Willis. The other has the others have the Steelers sitting at number 20 to take Malik Willis. But there's other mock drafts that have, and the Kenny Pickett situation, 3 mock drafts have Kenny Pickett going in 3 separate directions: Carolina, New Orleans, and the Washington Commanders. Okay, which of course everyone cracked jokes about that name, the Commanders. I thought they should have went with the Presidents, but instead they chose the Commanders, which of course there's nothing wrong with that either. But that's what they did. They chose to do because they had to change their name because of a small selective group of people who didn't like the idea of the Redskins and the Indian heritage and all that other jazz. The Cleveland Indians had to change their name to the Guardians. So what I'm saying to you is it's not just them. It's, everybody else with these Indian names. That's what they have to do. So anyway, getting back to the Steelers a little bit, the big buzz right now is around Malik Willis. It's around the fact that Malik Willis is going to be possibly drafted by the Steelers. The Steelers are looking at him. There's also stock in this Desmond Ridder. I like Ridder. I watched him in the Senior Bowl. I watched him play for Cincinnati. He is a very good quarterback, and he's played a lot of different, for a lot of years for Cincinnati. And they were in the championship for the playoff against Alabama. He didn't do real well, but I'll tell you what, Desmond Ridder would be a good selection if the Steelers can't get Malik Willis. I would be satisfied with Sam Howell from North Carolina. Matt Corral's not even bad from Ole Miss. Okay, because his coach there is oh gosh, he's a well-known quarterback, coach the Raiders, Lane Kiffin. All right, Lane Kiffin is his coach there. All right, sometimes I get a brain fart. A lot of information I have to absorb in my brain to do these shows, and you know how that goes. So anyway, we welcome you tonight to Sports Corner here, 8 p.m. start time from now on Tuesday nights. We're doing 7 o'clock for a few weeks, but we're going to 8 o'clock now. And coming up at 9, you might want to watch the 412 or listen to the 412 podcast from Mancini Media. That's coming up at 9 o'clock, 347-205-69 or 9631 to get involved in that. That's at 9 p.m. Call that number and you can listen to it on your phone or on your tablet or however you dial up a phone or whatever. Some people like to use Skype. We have Juana saying hello, and you can also comment in the comment section here on YouTube. Thank you, Juana, for watching. As always, a very loyal watcher and listener to my shows. She's my number one listener right now. But you can comment right here. We're live here on YouTube. It's great to be here again tonight. A few announcements. Tomorrow, 4 p.m., right here on YouTube. I will be live tomorrow at 4 p.m. for Mauler Talk. I have some news about the USFL. You're not going to believe where the USFL is going to play their championship and their playoff games. All right. So I'm going to tell you it's not going to be at Legion Field in Alabama, but I'll tell you tomorrow, 4 p.m., you need to be right here on YouTube, the same place where you are tonight. You need to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. for Mauler Talking. And Thursday night, the Black and Gold Sports Show. Myself, Mark Mancini, National Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631 for you to listen. Blog Talk Radio. Yes, indeed. National broadcast of the Black and Gold Sports Show with me and Mark Mancini. Friday, 7 p.m. right here. The way I see it. That's right. And I got a lot to talk about Friday. You know, last Friday I had a really good show. A lot of people said it was very controversial, but they said for once somebody came out and told the truth. So I appreciate those folks who have gotten a hold of me, whether it be email or through Facebook or here. They've managed to get a hold of me, and that's fine. That's great. I'm glad. And don't forget Saturdays at 5 p.m. Sports Corner on PCTV channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon cable. And also don't forget The Way I See It on PCTV as well. On a rotating basis, you need to check their listings, get on their Facebook page or any one of their formats to find out when The Way I See It is going to be aired as well. All right. Also, as I mentioned earlier, in regards to the Steelers, and we were talking about the mock drafts that are out and what the Steelers could and should draft. I'm going to say this, and earlier tonight I was watching a show called Pittsburgh Sports Line, which is hosted by my co-host on PCTV, channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon, and their Facebook page as well. My co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier, who was on with me last Thursday, we talked about who they should pick in the draft. Now, I say they have a lot of needs. They need offensive linemen, defensive linemen. They need linebackers. They need defensive backs. They need wide receivers. They need somebody to clean toilets. They need a lot of people, is what I'm trying to say to you. Okay? So they need to get a kick returner. And I've been saying this for a while. They need to do something, either get a free agent or go out and get one in the draft, or sign an undrafted free agent from maybe some state prison or something. Somebody who can run the football back and get the Steelers some good field position, because the Steelers don't have Ben this year. They don't have a franchise quarterback. They have to do whatever means possible to score points. Defense has to start stripping the football. Defense has to start making the offense commit turnovers more than in the fourth quarter. All right. The Steelers have a lot of needs on both ends of the line of scrimmage, and they need to get those needs. They have the draft. They don't have a lot of draft picks because they traded them off this year. So they have to be careful about who they draft. They can't reach out and get bums. They have to reach out and get some players who can come in and play. And they also need to go out in free agency and get some guys. They have a lot of money in free agency. Why not go out and get some quality guys that could come in and play right away? They have a new offensive line coach, Pat Riley. They have Brian Flores as a defensive assistant. There should be no excuse that the Steelers shouldn't at least do a little bit better or more this year, based on coaching, based on some of the players they have coming back, and maybe some of the players they can get in the draft and through some free agency signings. But the question is not only just getting players through free agency, but can they keep these players? Can they stay here? Do they like to play here? Would they want to play here? Is Mike Tomlin a player's coach? There's a lot of questions that happen a lot in this situation. and throughout the entire National Football League with a lot of teams. There's some situations that basically have these things that are what they are. I'm checking here to see if Jerry DePaul is coming on right now. He's supposed to be on as a guest. I don't see him here. Oh, all right. Anyway, I do thank Juana once again for her comments. You too can put your comments right here on Sports Corner in the comments section here on YouTube. We're live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams. Sunday nights, I know this past Sunday I was not on. I had prior obligations. I was having I had to go to a fundraiser for a woman that has cancer. It's a friend of my mom's. His sister has cancer, so we went to a fundraiser, and it was Norm Nardini was there singing along with a bunch of other bands. It was a good show. It was a great thing. The food was decent. It was from the Starlight Lounge, where Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives last year was there, and they've been there a few times. But I heard they were back again 10 months ago at the Starlight Lounge with Guy Fieri. He goes around all over the country at these diners and these drive-ins and these dive places, and he tries the food. He tries all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's where I was Sunday. So I could not do the broadcast, and so of my Facebook broadcast of Sports Corner and the way I see it. But this Friday, you can see the way I see it here on YouTube, just like you're watching tonight, Sports Corner live here from Studio 808 over here in Allentown, which is near Mount Washington section of the city of Pittsburgh. It is once again great to be here tonight. One of the things I enjoy most is talking sports with you. Your comments are always welcomed, and they are welcome here on YouTube as well. And don't forget, you can reach out to me on my Facebook page, Ralph Williams, or my Sports Corner, way I see it, Wrestle Talk. Don't forget, not this Thursday, next Thursday. It's every other Thursday. We talk Wrestle Talk, myself and my co-host, Mark Mancini from Los Angeles, California, national broadcast. We're going to have Wrestle Talk. We're going to have a former wrestler on who's a friend of Mark Mancini's. That's going to be great to find out what's going on as well with that. So, but anyway, Juana says, what a great informative show this is. Thank you, Juana. I appreciate that. Always a loyal watcher and listener to the show. I appreciate that, Juana. Thank you. And anyone else that wants to make their comments tonight, you're welcome to do so right here on Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams. All right, let's get back to some more of this of the Steelers here. And free agency, as I said before, the Steelers need to really go out and get some people to come in to strengthen their offensive line. They have a new offensive line coach. His name is Pat Riley, and he's a really good offensive line coach. He has a lot of experience. Had some rough sledding the last couple of years in Carolina, but that's because Carolina Carolina didn't really have a good team. I have something I want to discuss with you. We had this discussion last couple of weeks on the Thursday night broadcast last Thursday of Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams, and Smoking Jim Frazier. I had this discussion as well here a little bit last week, and we're going to have it again tonight. And that is, what are your thoughts about Heinz Field? 21 years old this year. And already everyone's saying it's a relic. Okay. Now, my co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier, on my Sports Corner edition of PCTV Sports Corner edition on TV there, he said that when it was first built, he called it a high school stadium. Which, of course, when I saw what it looked like, I laughed about it myself. But anyway, the main thing that I was frustrated about was the fact that the Steelers built the cheapest stadium in the entire league. Now, I don't have a problem with Heinz Field right now. and that's only because I'm handicapped. All right, but I mean, I'm going to say this: God help you if you got to go to a Steeler game that's fully packed and you're mashed in like this in the seats. Okay, the aisles are narrow, and you can't watch the game because you've got drunks fighting amongst each other, running all over the place. But that doesn't have anything to do with the structure of the field. The Rooneys were told by a lot of fans over the course of the time when they were building Heinz Field that they needed to put it into 100,000 seats so that everybody could get an opportunity to see a game. The Rooneys didn't want to do that. They built the stadium cheap, 66,000 fans, okay? And they pushed a tax referendum through to people who didn't really want it to fund the stadiums, okay? Steelers were never going to leave anyway. The original plan was to have PNC Park built. And then when you have PNC Park built, they were going to upgrade Three River Stadium, kind of like what they did up in Buffalo. They never tore that rich stadium down. They just kept refixing it and fixing it and fixing it. Buffalo's happy with that. Okay. Unfortunately, that didn't play out in Oakland. Oakland, California, they've been cheap for years. They don't have, uh, they still have the Oakland A's playing at Oakland Alameda County Stadium, which is a relic and a bomb. So what I'm saying to you is this: Heinz Field really isn't that bad compared to them. Now, no matter where you sit at Heinz Field, unlike Three River Stadium, you have a really good view of everything. Okay, the view is so good no matter where you sit at Heinz Field. But that is all that's good about Heinz Field. The rest of it, the aisles are narrow, the bathrooms are, I mean, everything's clean, but it's just the concept of the way it was structured, built, designed. It's not that great of a stadium. If you sit up in the top section up there, and you walk up that narrow aisle to get up and down and try to get through the steps to your seat, you can fall. I mean, it's really narrow up on those upper seats. I've been there. I've done that. I worked there. I was an usher. I had to walk people up those steps up there to get up in the top sections. And then the bleachers, you got to sit on those hard bleacher seats. Who wants to do that? So what I'm saying to you is, Heinz Field could be a relic, and right now, there could have been more amenities to it, as Smoking Jim had said to me on when we did the show this past Thursday night. We did our live call-in, which we do every first Thursday of the month, and then it's aired every Saturday at 5 p.m. on PCTV. So, like I said, I'm not a fan of Heinz Field, but now I don't have a problem at Heinz Field because I'm handicapped. I sit in the handicap section with the wheelchair people. So I have room to sit and move around and do what I need to do. I'm not smashed in the aisle if there's a full game. But I've never been to Heinz Field when I've worked there when there's a full game, but never as a spectator. I worked at Heinz Field on 4 different occasions. So what I'm saying is Heinz Field could be considered a relic. There's nothing to Heinz Field other than the Great Hall, where they have the Steeler Hall of Fame, and they have things. The Great Hall is a nice place of the Heinz Field, but that is it. Everything, it's nothing really to write home about. It's just a simple stadium to see a football game. Pitt plays there as well, and maybe that's part of why the stadium is what it is. It's just a plain generic stadium. Do you like the plain generic stadium, or do you feel for what you pay to go to Heinz Field to see a Steeler game, you should have better luxury boxes? You should have better amenities, or there are more things that you might want that you think that you would want if you paid to go to Heinz Field. Okay, but obviously that's not the case. All right, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't believe that to be true at all. I personally believe that the Steelers, it's going to be what it is. When they put the new scoreboard up and they expanded the seating, they went to the RAD board looking for more money. That's the Regional Asset District Board, looking for grant money to build the scoreboard and put in new seats. So maybe Heinz Field is a relic. What do you think? Comments in the comments section here. I have not received any comments. I didn't get any on the TV show. I didn't get any here. I didn't get any on Facebook. I didn't get any on my email. I didn't get any at all in regards to this. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are about Heinz Field. Is it a relic? Is it a bomb? Do we need a new? Does the Steelers need another new stadium? Do you think it's generic? What's your thoughts on Heinz Field? 21 years, Heinz Field, since the day it was built last year. They celebrated 20 years, but we were just starting to get around COVID a little bit, and now we're back to our original lives, supposedly. Juana says, yeah, it is. Heinz Field is just a simple stadium, and that's it. But do you want a shopping mall in there? Do you want all kinds of good amenities? I mean, the food is adequate, but you've got to pay a lot of money and you got to take out a loan to go to a Steeler game. All right. I talked to the security guard at my church earlier tonight because I was there earlier today to meet with Pastor Paul, my pastor. And when I was there to meet with him today, the security guard and I were having a conversation, and I asked him about it. And he said, for what you pay to go to a game, yeah, it is. Okay. They had Heinz Ward's family there sitting in bleachers next to the rotunda, sitting in bleachers instead of sitting in a decent area. Heinz Ward's family. All right. And then on top of that, the ignorant Steeler fans decide they're going to throw beer down from the rotunda on their heads. Okay. And I was working there as an usher, and I saw what was going on, so I basically had to, basically do the that thing, and it's or I had to go do my thing and call security on them. I really, it was terrible. I mean, it was really bad. And I even told them, I said, this is Heinz Ward's family. They were so drunk they didn't even know what I was talking about. So, I mean, that's the atmosphere of Heinz Field. And the Steeler fans, as usual, are supposed to be the number one fans, in the entire country. And like Juana, just use my thing. You got to take out a loan just to pay for food and stuff. Seats are not comfortable at all. Exactly. There you go. All right. There you are. There's the opinion of someone other than no one who hasn't really. Free agents for the Steelers. Let's talk about that. Juju Smith-Schuster is due for a new contract. Kevin Colbert says he's had conversations with Juju. We're going to find out where he goes and what he does. Stephon Tuitt wants to come back. He hasn't played in a whole season. He had a knee injury. And what had happened was after he had the knee injury, his brother got killed, got shot. And he was grieving, so he was off the entire year for the Steelers. But they need him back. They need to get back Tyson Alualu to help Cam Hayward. Now, there were some guys, they had that Devontae Adams, that what I call the used cars. We ended up getting a scrap heap off the practice squads. We had Tarko Charlton and a few other guys. We still had Henry Mondo. And then Isaiah Buggs, who got cut at the end of the year. I don't know what happened to him. He seemed to, what they call, bomb out. So he hasn't done well at all. So they got rid of him, and they got Isaiah Loudermilk. And they got some other guys who were here and there and in and out and used cars, more or less. Somebody else's problems. And so that's exactly how that goes for the Steelers. But again, they must, and I say must, get both sides of the line of scrimmages up to speed, or we can forget about anything more than just one round of the playoffs if we even reached them, as we did not this year. But we weren't far away. Cincinnati got into the Super Bowl. They got lucky. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes. Bengals were definitely lucky because the Steelers screwed up. They were only a few games ahead of Pittsburgh. And if Pittsburgh would have won both of those games against Cincinnati, they might have got they might have played better in the playoffs. And they still went to the playoffs, even with the shoddy offensive line and a 39-year-old quarterback that was banged up. All right, let's get into the Pens a little bit. They're playing right now. I don't have a score at this time, but they are playing right now as we speak. So, but they just won a few games, sent a message to the league or that they're not to be messed with at this point. They're playing Florida at PPG Paints Arena. I know I ran into the traffic coming back from church earlier this evening, so I kind of knew they were playing at home. Somebody had to be at PPG Paints Arena for the traffic to back up to get into town. But anyway, the Pens are looking up at a trade deadline. Brian Burke, Ron Hextall. They really haven't said much about who they're gonna trade or what they're gonna do. They have to move some people. They have to do something. They got to get a few more gritty players to protect Crosby and Malkin, because Crosby and Malkin will not last through the playoffs if they don't protect them. They're going to have to do something to protect their stars. This is getting old. And then on top of all that, you got Casey D. Smith now, who says he can play the backup role. He's been 5-0-2 since he came back from his injury. We haven't seen anything from Louis Dominique, so I don't know what the story is with this goalie competition that was supposed to go on and has not. So Mike Sullivan thinks he has the team to win. I think they could. Let's see what they do tonight against Florida and the rest of the schedule as we go. They're second in the Metropolitan Division behind Carolina, and they're fourth in the entire conference as far as record goes. And they're not doing too bad, actually. So we'll see what happens with them as we go along here. All right. Also, let's talk about the illustrious baseball strike. You know, we're going into this walkout or this lockout here. The owners have the players locked out, as you well know, and it's been a mess. It's been a total mess. The players want this. The owners want that. They both need to sit down. They need to go over this. This is affecting jobs. This is affecting people's livelihoods who make money off of pirate games, who make money off of people being in town. All right, second period, Florida 3, Pens 2. All right, so anyway, baseball needs to get back to where it is. They've already canceled 6 regular season games. Spring training is at a halt right now. I say this. I say get some minor league players to play. Get your teams together and do scab players, just like the National Football League did the one year. They did scab players. Why not? At least you'll have baseball. Maybe people will come out to see that, and at least you might have a better chance of winning because you got players who are looking to make a name for themselves in baseball, other than football. You see what I'm getting at? Plus, you don't have to pay them that much money. They're minor league players or scab players. Do you catch what I'm saying? I think Major League Baseball should do that right now. All right. Also, I think they need to sit down and really seriously talk about a salary cap. The way baseball's economic structure is right now, it's a disgrace. People like the Pirates and some other small market teams don't have a chance in anything of making any kind of record or getting to a World Series or anything, because you have the Dodgers, the Yankees, and some of these other teams out here spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on players, and every year they're in the World Series or every year they're in the playoffs, and it's not fair. The NFL, NBA, NHL came up with salary caps. Why can't baseball? What's the problem? The players don't want to give nothing up. The owners think that they don't have to open up their books to the players, and they're telling the players that they're not making any money, which I agree, because the owners are saying that fans are not really coming to the games and they can't make any money. And that's the truth. They really can't make any money because they're not coming. The fans are not coming to the game because they have no interest in watching a sad team like the Pirates. And then on top of that, they're not interested in taking out a loan to go to a ball game. You know, once again, I'm out and about and I talk to people all the time. And one thing I ask people, and here's another question I have for you. What does it cost you to go to a ball game? All right. I spoke to a guy. He told me if he takes his wife, his 2 daughters, and himself, he's looking at $500 easily just to go to a game. And that doesn't include tickets and parking and food. All right. You can't take food into the game. They get mad at you. They want to throw you out. I tried to take a bottle of pop in one time. They got mad at me, told me to leave or get rid of the pop. All right. It was a 90-cent Diet Cola that I got from an old Foodland at PNC Park. So what I'm saying to you is that this is the way things are going right now. All right. And fans right now, people, well, according to certain people don't have money right now. All right. Which I think is full of baloney. If you would go out and get a job, you might have money because there are people out there who don't, for some strange reason, want to go out and go to work. But that's for Friday, not for tonight. But what I'm saying to you is it's costing too much money to go to a game as to begin with. And now the owners are saying they're not making any money. Well, they're not making any money because, and the players are saying that they want more money. So how can you want more money when the owners are saying they're not making any money and the fans aren't coming to the games? So what's the problem is what I want to know. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, that is why we're in the situation that we're in Major League Baseball. And I hope that something gets done real soon so that Major League Baseball can get where it needs to be as far as getting back in order and getting back. Can they retrieve the fans? Are the fans angry? Yes. There's baseball fans out there, people that like to go to these games. They like to go to PNC Park, whether the Pirates are a bunch of bums or not. So people really enjoy baseball. It's supposed to be America's pastime. All right. Can't go to a game right now. Can't take, little Johnny, little Stevie, little Ronnie. They all want to go to games. No, they have to stay at home and play with the Xbox because there's no baseball games right now. All right. And there's nothing for kids to do at this point. It's getting to be too much money to attend the games to begin with, as Juana is saying here. All right. You can make your comments like Juana right here in the comments section. Okay. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. We're here on YouTube every single Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on my page here on YouTube. We're live Sunday night, 9 p.m. Sports Corner, 9:30. The way I see it on my Sports Corner, way I see it, Wrestle Talks Facebook page is where we are for that. You can catch my live version on Facebook Sunday nights on my Sports Corner, the way I see it, Wrestle Talk page as well. All right, let's talk about some other sports news. NFL, we spoke earlier. I talked to you about the breaking news about Aaron Rodgers, who agrees to a 4-year contract worth close to $200 million and with the Green Bay Packers. And then right after that, Russell Wilson got traded to the Denver Broncos. We talked about that earlier. Miami Dolphins put the franchise tag on Mike Gesicki, tight end. He was going to become a free agent, but they put the franchise tag on him. I was hoping maybe the Steelers might take a look at Mike Gesicki, something to work with as a 1-2 tandem in tight ends, because we have Pat Freiermuth. Atlanta Falcons. Listen to this one. You're gonna like this one. This is hilarious right here. This is really funny. Atlanta Falcons suspend wide receiver Calvin Ridley for the whole season for gambling. Now listen to this. He gambled $1,500. Okay, $1,500 on some football bet of gambling bet of some kind or whatever it was. Okay, and then he goes ahead after he does that, and then to come to find out he's going to lose $11 million because that's what he would have got paid this year. If he didn't do that, he was playing for the Falcons. So he lost $11 million for a $1,500 bet on football teams in the NFL, which you're not allowed to gamble when you're an NFL player, especially on other teams or any NFL team at all. All right. So that's not allowed. Rick Neuheisel, who used to coach in college, and he coached in the NFL for a little while, he got banned from coaching for gambling as well. He was involved in a gambling thing. So, I mean, that's the interesting part about this. And why this guy would do this is beyond me. What, you don't have enough money that you got to go out and gamble? What, you don't make enough? You don't save your money? On Monday nights, last night, every Monday night on Blog Talk Radio. And, you can use the phone number for that, 347-205-6931. I advise everyone to watch or to listen to Claudia Rosano's show with Mark Mancini. It's called Monday Night Impact. And it talks about how to save money, how to, run a business if you have a business, how to make enough money that you're not poor or you don't run into. They talk about different topics, and there was 8 episodes, and you can watch the archives episodes if you get on Mark Mancini's Facebook page or if you get on the Blog Talk Radio /Mancini platforms. Get on there as well, and you can watch all the back episodes. I urge you to please watch this because there's a lot of athletes out here that get into some bad spending habits, and they end up losing all their money, and they end up being bums. They end up being homeless. They end up, being, just having major problems. Movie stars do it. Everybody does it. So, you got to watch what you're doing when it comes to XFL. Will announce the broadcast company that they're going to be working with in the cities. Rumor has it it's going to be ESPN because Fox is taken up by the USFL. As you know, speaking of the USFL, don't forget tomorrow 4 p.m. My show in regards to the USFL and the Maulers. We have my Mauler talk show, and that is tomorrow at 4 p.m. All right, Juana, she says, I really don't understand why people gamble all their money away. Yeah, I don't understand that either. I go to the casino every once in a while. I don't really do a lot. I play minimal money. I win, I go home. I don't stay there all day and throw it away. I've been to Vegas and I've seen people lose their homes. I've seen people go broke during the March Madness, which is coming up. It's not a pretty picture. I spoke to another media colleague of mine who said he was in Vegas, sat right next to Jaromir Jagr, and watched him put $10 million down at a blackjack table. And he ended up going broke, and he's in his 50s still playing hockey because he's as broke as a joke. And that's the truth. And he has a gambling problem. He always has, and he always will. Okay, let's talk about Pitt athletics. Pitt football spring camp has started. There's a big quarterback battle between Clinton Slovis and Nick Patty. Nick Patty's recovering from shoulder injury he suffered in the Peach Bowl, which is why we lost the Peach Bowl because of him having that injury. We didn't have any quarterback play at all in the Peach Bowl. It was horrible. It was bad, and so therefore that was one of the reasons why we lost the Peach Bowl was his injury. I spoke with Jerry DePaula on the phone yesterday, and or the other night we had a discussion in regards to paying coaches. I understand Mark Whipple left because Nebraska was going to pay him more money. I looked at his salary; wasn't making a whole lot considering what most assistants make in most other universities. Pitt's at it again. They keep on paying these assistants cheap. They need to start paying them more money, or they're going to lose some of them. They already lost Brendan Marin. He went for more money to Texas. Patrick Gallagher, the chancellor, said he's going to put, his hand in, open up the vault, and start paying. Well, you need to keep on paying is what you need to do, Patrick Gallagher. You stood there, you spoke. Everyone talks a good talk and a good racket, and talk is cheap. People say things, and then they end up not doing it at all. And that's exactly how it is. Pete Gonzalez, his son, remember Pistol Pete, the quarterback for Pitt back in the 90s? And he was also played for the Steelers for a little while as well and a few other teams. Well, his son just got a scholarship to Pitt. He's a wide receiver at Central Catholic. It's good to see Pistol Pete's kid there. Recruit Rodney Gallagher. These were some of the things myself and Jerry DePaula were going to talk about. Jerry must have got sidetracked tonight, so he's unable to be on the show tonight. But tune in April 5th, April 5, Tuesday night. Normally I'm supposed to do it April 7th, but PCTV, it has the studio closed that day for some kind of something. I don't know. But the studio's not open that day. And it turns out that I had to move my live call-in show to April 5th. Now, the way I see it, I have a guy, a TV producer who lives in Pittsburgh here. His name's James White, and he was on my Wrestle Talk show with myself and Mark Mancini last Thursday. And he does a wrestling. He's doing a wrestling movie or a series he wants to put out on Netflix about the local wrestling scene here in Pittsburgh. Well, I'm going to have him on my show on April 5th. He's coming on my show The Way I See It. Then, right after that, 6 p.m. live call-in show, Sports Corner. My co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier, has prior obligations that night, so he's not able to be my co-host that night. So filling in for him is going to be Jerry DePaula from Trib Live, and we will have him on board on April 5th. So tune in Tuesday, April 5 for my live call-in Sports Corner. The Way I See It, I'll be live on PCTV's Facebook page, and The Way I See It runs on a rotating basis. Comment line. Juan has been commenting all night. It's great that she is. That's nice. And yep, they lose their homes and stuff. Yes, they do. Athletes do it every time because they overspend themselves. They don't realize, they don't look at down the road. They don't look at life's work afterwards. Chuck Noll used to say, don't make football your life's work. And if you notice, some of his players from the 70s, they all have businesses. A few of them went bankrupt and broke, but not too many of them did. Most of them succeed right now with businesses, and they have money, a nest egg put away, a rainy day fund, that kind of thing. Because if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. Let's say, for instance, you get hurt and you can't work and you get permanently injured. Things like that. See, people don't look at that stuff. And that's why you need to watch Claudio's show on Monday on Blog Talk Radio. All right, we're getting back to Pitt football. Spring game is April 9th, 1 p.m. It's a Saturday, 1 o'clock start. It's sponsored this year by PNC. And you know something? I heard a rumor that at Heinz Field they're going to put windows up in the bathrooms for that game. You know why? So you could PNC. And then on top of that, you got to find out which team, either the gold team or the blue team, is going to play catch up. Oh my. Oh my. Gee, they took the Art Rooney statue away from Heinz Field. You know why? He was violating the smoking ordinance. Oh my. All right. Let's get back to sports because I'm turning this into a joke fest, but that's all right. It's good to tell a few jokes on this program. Can't be completely boring. Anyway, also want to talk about recruit Rodney Gallagher, my co-host Smoking Jim Frazier on PCTV. I'm on my Sports Corner show. He had went out to scout him. He's was out there at Peters Township when Laurel Highlands was playing Peters Township in the playoffs in basketball. He's a two-sport athlete, but he's committed to football. He's a recruit for Pitt, and we're going to see what he does for Pitt as an athlete that he is. New offensive coordinator Frank Cignetti Jr. I got a nice little nugget last night from Jerry DePaula. He was telling me when we were talking on the phone a little bit. Frank Cignetti's getting paid well to come to Pittsburgh to coach at Pitt. There was a rift between Whipple. I had told everyone this. And again, no one believed me, but it was confirmed by a guy who's really into Pitt, who's the beat reporter for the Trib Live. And he told me straight up there was a rift between Whipple and Narduzzi. And what had happened was, and this was true, that Kenny Pickett walked into Narduzzi's office and said, I'll come back one more year, but you bring back Mark Whipple. If not, I'm going to go. I'm going to move on. Well, it turns out that's what they did to win, and they did it. But I didn't like the way Whipple walked away after the championship game and said, screw Pitt, and went to Nebraska. He could have played out the bowl game and then went to Nebraska, but he didn't do it like that. So, but anyway, Frank Cignetti looks like he's going to get a nice payday. It's good to see him here. He is an emphasis on power running game. We're going to see some running of football, play action, not this pass-happy NFL offense that Mark Whipple had. And he's also a good quarterbacks coach, as is Mark Whipple. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. Kenny Pickett wouldn't be where he is without Mark Whipple. Whipple's a great coach. He's good at coaching quarterbacks. a terrific offensive coordinator, but he was also Ben Roethlisberger's coach for a few years with the Steelers. All right. Also, the first game of the year, Pitt's schedule. They play on a Thursday night, September 1st, Heinz Field. Guess what comes back? The backyard brawl. They're playing West Virginia at home. West Virginia has a new coach, or well, their latest coach, Neil Brown, who came from Troy, and he is their coach right now. He's not doing too bad. He had a pretty good year this year. He's bringing West Virginia back after Dana Hogerson ran it into the ground. Dana Hogerson now coaches the Houston Cougars, who actually, believe it or not, they were in a prominent bowl game this year. They did pretty well for themselves. Good for them. Good for him. I don't know how much drinking and gambling he's doing down there, but maybe he learned his lesson because he didn't learn it at West Virginia. All right. Cal Adonis, Damari Mathis, Kenny Pickett, and Chris Gadulu are the NFL players that will be in the NFL, probably either getting drafted or get signed as undrafted free agents. You know, Kenny Pickett will be a number one pick one way or another. It's looking that way. Damari Mathis, good defensive back. He could go in the middle rounds somewhere, or he could even be a second round pick or something like that. We're going to find out what's going on with that. Cal Adonis is a long snapper, very good one. He was the very first long snapper to ever be voted voted uh, NCAA to a division, to a C or to a All Star game, and then also was voted All American, the very first long snapper to be. Juana says that's nice. I was referring to Pistol Pete's nephew getting a scholarship. Yes, indeed, that is very much so. So Pitt's schedule, they have to go to Western Michigan this year. I watched them put 50 points up in a bowl game. Got to be careful with Western Michigan. They have a lot of gritty players. Their coach is Tim Lester, not the one that played for the Steelers, but a different Tim Lester. He had them in a bowl game. They were putting up 50 points per game most of the season, including the 47 they put up against Pitt's supposedly prominent defense that couldn't stop them from even for anything. So that was the story with that there. Pitt basketball today, they lost to Boston College in the ACC tournament. They stink, and Jeff Capel's in his fourth season. He says he needs better players. He's been trying to go out and get better players. They keep leaving. Every year he has to restructure. This transfer portal was killing him, Robert Morris, and Duquesne. Pitt, Robert Morris, and Duquesne have been bit by the transfer bugaboo, or the transfer portal bugaboo, which means they keep getting bit in the butt by this, players leaving, going to other schools. Pitt has to start enticing some of these recruits to stay, because what's happening is that the basketball team is not as prominent as they once were, and they really need to start to take care of their players or make sure they stay as far as they can do it. The future of Jeff Capel, here's what I'm told by my sources. He's got one more season. After that, they're going to look at other options. Pitt, I would think so. This will be his fifth season coming up. Can they come to prominence again? Who knows? I can't say. Pitt was once a prominent basketball program back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Jamie Dixon was a great coach. They ran him out of town. They brought in Kevin Stallings, who was a bum, and didn't go well with the administration and with the student body. Got booed out of town, got kicked out, or booted out of town. He got fired. He wasn't even that great of a coach at Vanderbilt, but that's Vanderbilt. So we'll find out what happens there. But the real reason I want to talk right now is about the women's basketball team and Lance White. Lance White, believe it or not, had them winning this year. Last couple of years, they won 4 or 5 games. This year, they won around a dozen games. Now that's an 8-game improvement. Okay, they didn't do well in the ACC conference, but at least their non-conference record was a little bit better, and their overall record, at least they won more games than last year. You still have close to 10 or 11 minutes here to comment on anything you want. We're here live on YouTube. I'm Ralph Williams. This is Sports Corner, and we're here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. Also, don't forget, Thursday night on Blog Talk Radio. 347 205 9631 is the number to call to get to listen to my sports show with Mark Mancini called Black and Gold Sports Show. We do it every other Thursday. Next Thursday, 8 p.m., we're going to do Wrestle Talk. We're going to talk about WWE, WrestleMania, and a whole lot more on Wrestle Talk. Tomorrow, every Wednesday, 4 p.m., right here on YouTube, we do Mauler Talk, where I talk Pittsburgh Maulers. As you know, the USFL is back. Pittsburgh Maulers are back. They're playing at Legion Field this year in Alabama. Then next year they go for their home. Everybody will have their own home place to play. The Maulers are looking for a place, so we're going to find out how they pan out, and a whole lot more. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. I got a couple new nuggets for you tomorrow. News around the USFL and the Pittsburgh Maulers every Wednesday, 4 p.m. live here on YouTube. Thursday, 8 p.m. Blog Talk Radio, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again. It's a national broadcast of the Black and Gold Sports Show with me, Ralph Williams, and Mark Mancini. We're going to be talking sports, especially the latest in Green Bay and with the Seattle Denver trade. Oh, yeah, thank you, Juana. What a great program you had this evening. I really enjoyed it. Well, Juana, I appreciate that, and I enjoy you making your comments. You too. Everyone else, you too, that's watching tonight can make your comments, put in the comment box, and I'll read them off. What do you think about Heinz Field? Do you think it's a relic? What do you think? You think Pitt's going to have a better football team this year? What do you think? I want to know from you. What do you think the Steelers are going to do? What do you think the Steelers should do? Do you think they should take a quarterback in the first round? Do you think they need help on both ends of the line of scrimmage? I want to hear from you. Put it in the comment section right here on Sports Corner. Also, don't forget every first Thursday of the month, except for April. All right, so mark us on your calendar, April 5. It's a Tuesday instead of April 7th on a Thursday. PCTV has informed me that my live call-in show will be on April 5. 6 p.m., my guest co-host will be Jerry DePaula from the Trib Live. He will be my guest co-host because Smoking Jim Fraser has other obligations that night. Also, don't forget on Tuesday nights, if you live in Bethel Park or you have Facebook or YouTube, you can watch Pittsburgh Sports Line at 7 p.m. and then watch my show here on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And then at 9, I got to tell you, we got a big line of sports talk in this town that a lot of people don't know about. The 412 with Dave Finoli, and 412 is what it's called, hosted by Mark Mancini Media, and it's called the 412. Dave Finoli and Chris Fletcher are the hosts there. I'm going to be listening later on. 647. I'm sorry. 647 205 9631 is the number that you'll need to listen to the 412. Sundays, my Facebook page. Well, actually, the Sports Corner Facebook page and the Sports Corner way I see it, and the way I see it Sports Corner, and the also the. Hang on a second here. Okay. All right. I was checking something here. Anyway, Sunday nights on that Facebook page, the Sports Corner one, I will be live here in Studio 808 here in Allentown, section of the city of Pittsburgh. Sports Corner at 9 o'clock, 30-minute edition, and then 9:30. The way I see it, we do Chinese Wisdom, Blast, and also we do Bonehead, which we do. That's my new segment now, Bonehead. Friday, I have a boneheaded move that somebody made during the week. I have a life story, as I always do. Last week, I had a pretty interesting life story, and I'll be telling every Friday, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. I have the way I see it. That's right. It's the way I look at it, the way I see it. Okay. No one sees it like I see it right here in Pittsburgh. Ralph Williams here, and I know you're watching throughout the United States on YouTube and throughout the world. It's great to have everybody on board here tonight. And then don't forget to make your comments, and also don't forget to subscribe as well to this wonderful broadcast that we do every Tuesday night here at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Also, don't forget about my Friday night, The Way I See It, 7 p.m. Also, Saturday nights, 5 p.m. Actually, Saturday is a big smorgasbord full of sports on PCTV, Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon, and also on PCTV's Facebook page and on their website as well. And also on Roku, Fire Stick, and Apple TV as well, is where PCTV can be found. They also have their own app now that you can download and put in your phone. So there's no excuse not to catch any of my shows. None. But Saturday, there's a big smorgasbord on PCTV. Starts at 4 o'clock with the Boxing Authorities, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, and Smoking Jim Frazier. And then at 5 is Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams. And then at 6, Steel City Sports World, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier. 7 o'clock, another edition of the Boxing Authorities with the same 3 guys. And Juana says she loves The Way I See It. Thank you, Juana. Everyone else who put their comments in regards to The Way I See It. I thought last Friday's show was probably one of my better ones, but it's only going to get better. And as soon as Mark Mancini can find a slot, I'm going to Blog Talk Radio National, everybody. So we'll be able to hear The Way I See It, even if you live in Alaska. So there you go. I got friends in Alaska too, believe it or not. I got a guy that's a DJ up in Alaska in one of the villages up there, KSKO. His name's Paul Walker. He's a good guy. Really good DJ and engineer. He does a lot for the station. He lives up there, and it's great. Good for him. I'm glad he lives in Alaska, because I'm glad I don't put up with all that cold weather and up there. And I think they stay dark for 23 hours at some point in the year or something like that. I heard. Who knows? The Eskimos know. They'll be listening to. They have new technology. The Amish do as well. So the Amish, they have the new electronics also. So that's actually pretty good for them. Yeah, let's give it to the Amish. All right. Anyway, that's the schedule for Saturday's Smorgasbord on PCTV. And then my live call-in, like I said, that's usually every first Thursday of the month for April. It'll be on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Your live call-in, 412-231-2288 on PCTV live call-in show. Also, you can go on Facebook, place your comments on PCTV's Facebook page about the show. I had my Pastor Paul, on The Way I See It when I taped it on Monday, February 28th. Got 50 views just for that show on Facebook, so it was great. It's also great when they view here as well. All right, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight on this wonderful Tuesday evening here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Studio 808. I am Ralph Williams. This is Sports Corner. I'll see you next week here on my podcast. Don't forget to catch my show on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. The 30-minute version of Sports Corner will be on my Sports Corner Way I See It Wrestle Talk Facebook page. Don't forget to tune in, and also don't forget to subscribe and become a friend on Facebook, and also to subscribe here on my YouTube page as well. So make sure you do all that. And don't forget to tune in to all my shows Thursday night, the Black and Gold Sports Show with me and Mark Mancini live, 647-205-9631 for you to listen. I'm getting ready to go listen to my friends, the 412 with Dave Finoli and Chris Fletcher, Mark Mancini. Everybody have a good night. Be safe. Thank you.